Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I think you...
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
Time to redo this basement?
Yeah. A home gym, movie theater, model train utopia.
Or yoga studio?
I'm flexible-ish.
Great. I'll just use the U.S. Bank mobile app so we can plan it out.
Which way are you leaning? Setting a savings goal or applying for a home improvement loan?
I say we look at both options. Right here in the app.
Budget for a really good home gym. We deserve it.
Noted.
Help for today, planning for tomorrow. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
White Castle presents CEO Lisa Ingram.
My great-grandfather opened White Castle in 1921, which is why I'm excited to announce the new 1921 slider, inspired by how we made them 100 years ago, with a 100% beef patty topped with cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, tomato, lettuce, and pickles. Come see why originality never goes out of style. I'm Lisa, but you can call me the Slider Queen.
White Castle. Long live sliders. Pasteurized processed cheese at participating castles.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm Jess.
That's obnoxious, isn't it?
That was a lot.
Told you, man. Hope you like metal.
That was some metal.
That's Pantera. They're doing a reunion. I don't understand how they're doing a reunion when half the band is, dead. But that's a discussion for another day.
Cool.
I mean, half my friends still want to go, but I'm not down with concert ticket prices at this point. Like I don't know if either of you guys been following like what's been going on with the latest Bruce Springsteen tour, and it's called quote unquote dynamic pricing, where basically like an algorithm decides the pricing based on demand. There's like motherfuckers paying like $40,000 for like front row seats, like that kind of shit.
Shit.
Like the cheap seats are like, at least for people like us, are like, which bill am I not paying this month to go see this concert? Like, I paid 3 digits one time to see an artist, and it was Paul McCartney, and it was like I wanted to be able to say I saw a Beatle. Like, I don't like. I was having this conversation tonight. I don't like anybody that much to pay over $100 to see them. I don't care if it's 2022 and inflation and all this. Like,
there's nothing. I don't unless people start coming back from the dead. I don't
Yeah,
think
right.
There's a concert that I'm going to that's like the Chili Peppers concert. I hear, oh hey yeah they're coming to town. Blah 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 blah. Tickets are like $400, $500, $600. Yeah, that's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I love the current iteration of the Chili Peppers. Here, another show. We're starting talking about the Chili Peppers, but I love that. I'm not paying over $100 to see them.
that's what I'm saying. The last show that I wanted to go to right before COVID hit was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I think the tickets were like $25, and that was like venue price, which you could get them from the venue. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a band that is from that area, and I have family in that area, obviously, and was like, well, fuck it. Many birds, one stone type situation. That's the only reason I considered going to a show. I swear to fucking Christ. Because I see the prices, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's like going to a sporting event. Why? $50 for parking. I have to pay $50 fucking dollars to park my car before I even fucking walk up to the window and buy a ticket for the game. I'm good, thank you. That is ridiculous. So yeah. But I mean, whatever. I guess the pandemic really hit the musicians hard because they've been selling their back catalogs and they're doing this type of shit, and everybody's going on one more last tour. Whatever. How many farewell tours has Kiss been on now? They've been on a farewell tour for 2 decades, it seems like.
Since like the mid-90s, they've been on their last tour.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck anymore. Like, even my friends that are Kiss fans are like, we don't care anymore. just go away or keep touring, but shut up
unless
about
you're
it.
dusting off Ace and Peter, nobody cares.
Yeah, so. All right, well, first subject. What do we have?
We have Pelosi's famous visit to Taiwan. Infamous visit.
I mean, was it though? I mean, China talked a bunch of shit, but she came and went, and no bombs have flown.
Yet they could be sitting on it. We don't know.
Well,
I know the day she was traveling to Taiwan, they said Russia came out and like backed China for saying that she shouldn't be coming.
Well, I mean, what was the concern?
That they were saying that by Pelosi going to Taiwan, it was showing support for Taiwan instead of support for China in the invasion of Taiwan.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, because the way it was presented that I heard, it was more of the worry was that she would do something that would inadvertently trigger something down the line. That it's like, she would go over there and basically bull in a China shop, make a mess, and then it's like, hey, now we got to clean this up. But there's really nothing we could do legally to stop her. So, I mean, because she could just, you're a politician, right? You can go to other countries. You don't have to have permission to, right?
Right.
I just know from the Obama years, we owe China a fuck ton of money. And I just wonder if this was just them flexing and be like, hey, you better not go to Taiwan.
Could have been. Well, I don't know if I'm living under a rock, but I didn't realize... this might be stupid. I didn't realize that Taiwan was even being invaded by China. I knew nothing about what was happening there.
I mean, it, like in process or already had been? Because I know there was a few years ago with the NBA, somebody like spoke up about this situation and was told to shut the fuck up because the NBA makes a lot of money in China.
Yep. Yeah, because LeBron towed the company line, showed himself to be a complete company man as far as the NBA goes. Totally fucking went throwing his support behind China. But I mean, that's not rare. Corporations and movies, entertainment, we've been kowtowing to China for a while now. I mean, they had what's his face from who's the rest of You Can't See Me, dude? Wigger boy waving his hand in front of his face.
John Cena. Oh yeah,
with his jorts.
Oh yeah, he
dog. Because he's a yo homie skillet.
Oh yeah, John Cena. Yeah, he actually did like an apology, like in Mandarin.
Well, see, that's what I'm getting at. Like, what was the okay? First of all, why is she going there? Why is she there? What do you need there? Are you there on state business as a politician? Are you there on personal business? Why are you there?
I heard a lot of mixed reports about that. Some people were just saying that it was political, that she was just going around and doing her tour, but then also there is a chip company, like a chip manufacturer.
And there it is. There you go.
Yeah, that she's invested in, or that her husband invested, someone in, either her or her husband invested
Nvidia?
in. Yes. And that she was going over there to meet with them.
The company that her husband bought a ton of shares in right before the chip shortage? It's crazy.
Yeah, wild, isn't it? How lucky are they?
Yeah, and the price of their graphics cards have gone through the roof in the last 2 years.
But not insider trading.
Ridiculous. I'm talking like 300-400% markup.
Never mind, Martha Stewart did a bid for the same shit.
For much less.
So this is what it smells like. It looks like from my fucking completely uneducated, don't know shit about this really in detail opinion. This is this feels like dog and pony show. This feels like more political theater for our fucking sake. All performative bullshit. She went over there to fucking make everybody money, including herself and whatever company that's based in China. And this sounds like political grandstanding for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe the White House fucking thinks that they have to take a hard line. I don't know. But I mean, like, ultimately, I'm thinking, like, what was there really going to be a Bay of Pigs level incident over this?
I don't think so.
Well, what China said about it was that they were going to view this as an act of aggression. That was their verbiage that I kept hearing, was that they were viewing this as an act of aggression if she were to go over there.
Yeah, but at this point, this was like a few days. I mean, an act of aggression. That's some serious talk. I mean, you would think they wouldn't have even let her land it or leave the plane, but she did. She visited and she left, and I think it was a lot of political bluster, because I'm the one who sent this to you guys and was like, remember Earl and Russia and Ukraine, and he was talking mutually assured destruction. This was stuff I sent to you guys. Was like, this is the shit people should be, especially when China was like, she better not come here. Like, exactly what you said. Like, we'll view it as an act of aggression. Don't do that. And she came and she went and they didn't do anything. Like, so was it a lot of just, was it a lot of like, a lot of puffed up chest, dick measuring shit?
Well, if the media is set on the scent of, ooh, China big mad, because this drunk cunt's going to show up and fucking stumble her way through whatever.
But that's the thing, media don't do.
If they focus on that, no one's focusing on the fact that bitch went over there and made everybody a bunch of money, including herself, and is now coming back and did it on the people's dime. Probably.
Well, you got to remember, to the media, the boogeyman right now is Russia. It's Vladdy, guy whose fucking right arm don't even work. Guy's probably going to be dead in a year from now.
Well. This just reeks to me. I'm like,
remember, Russia's been the boogeyman since 2016,
dude. Whatever they need is the boogeyman, dude. Russia's fucking been
it's the 1950s all over again,
dude. In the last 10 years, Russia's been our ally. Russia's been our enemy. Dude. It's whatever they want to blame. Everybody blames whatever the fuck they want, and that's just the way it is anymore. So I don't even care who blames anybody for what anymore. Were missiles fired? Were shots fired and angry over this fucking stroked out looking bitch going there? No. Okay, then I think I'm right. I think I'm justified in saying that I have a little bit of a doubt that they were really ever gonna fucking risk nuclear annihilation over this shit. That's just my opinion.
But yet, they could still do something. I'm not saying it's probable, but I'm just saying that they could. It just happened.
But the thing is, if you kill the person let's just put this on an individual level. Let's just say China's a loan shark and we're a guy that owes them money. You kill the guy, you don't get your money.
That's what I'm saying. China's ultimately, in the end, they're going to be like, China is the model for what a lot of people would really wish they could get away with in America here right now. And they might get away with in the near future, some of our lifetimes. But it's communism for everybody but a handful of selected and connected fucking people who are allowed to be just ruthless capitalists.
Oh, yeah.
That's what China is. Ultimately, when money gets involved, unless you're dealing with religion or an ideological zealot, money's going to rule everything. Cream, baby. Cash rules everything around me.
In China...
Dollar bill, y'all.
In China, capitalism exists for the upper class.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like China, like her going over, like this is the thing. Like to me, it's just like it's perfect. It's a perfect fucking smoke screen. It is literally throwing a smoke bomb on the beach before you fucking drop off the Marines, so you cover their landing. Let's get everybody fucking upset about the fact that she's going over, and we don't know if she should, and we don't know if she. And ultimately, what happens? Money's made. People's bank accounts got fatter. And none of us are upset about it because we're all arguing about what this fucking, like I said, stroked out looking bitch is up to.
She does have a hide rack, though. She does have an underestimated rack.
Well, dude, she's like 90. She's probably got to move one to scratch her fucking kneecap. So if she unstraps them fuckers,
I'm just saying,
two boulders hitting the ground.
It's substantial for her frame.
Nancy Pelosi is just... that bitch looks like Skeletor fucking in human form. But anyways.
See, Jess, we always related to breasts.
I mean, I've been around long enough. I know.
So, all right. Any other thoughts on the trip to Taiwan?
Hey, yes. I had this thought the other day. Remember when we were kids? What happened to everything being made in Taiwan? Remember, it was like on all the cheap shit when we were made in Taiwan, made in Taiwan. Is everything still made in Taiwan? It seems like now it just says made in China.
I don't know. Used to hear a lot about made in Taiwan, but also up until about the mid-'90s, it was Japan owns everything. We owe our soul to Japan. Japan makes everything. They're kicking our ass, and then all of a sudden China just came up. So I guess Japan slipped. China stepped in, was like... These Americans, they can't tell the difference anyways.
Yeah, right.
They don't give a fuck. It's just, yeah, whatever. What is this, South Park? Yes, Americans, you have big American penis.
Big American penis.
Very big, very big. We are very scared of big American penis.
All right, so titties or penis. Got it.
Well, no, that was South Park. That was South Park saying that. That's how China gets away with fucking murder with Americans, because they just look at American men and go, "Oh no,
you have big American penis.
Too buku."
Yeah, no buku with soul brother.
No boom boom with soul brother. Too buku. I used to try to say you black boys pack too much meat. Someone's like, "Oh my god, that's horrible," and everyone else is like, "Oh, that's a Full Metal Jacket quote." And this is how people get called Nazis, because people don't know old movie quotes. Anyways, next subject. What do we got next on the agenda here?
I mean, we can just grab one, run with it. The border wall. Biden filling in the border wall in Yuma, Arizona.
Racist.
I know, right?
Well, this is interesting because there's a whole lot of please stop doing what we've been telling Americans that they need to let happen to them. Please stop doing it to us in our cities. Like you're having migrant people sent to like New York and DC and all that good shit, and all these Democrats and these politicians were like, we're going to be a sanctuary city. Or like, could you please stop sending these people?
Right.
Dude, I like that.
Could you
Abbott
please stop that?
Is doing that. Oh, cool. Cool. We'll send them to New York City.
Well, here's the bitch of it. Okay, I don't know exactly why, but at one point, the Biden administration was having migrants put on midnight flights and sent around the country to various cities and shit to be, I guess, to be housed, because they're sanctuary cities. When the governor of Texas does the shit in the open and gives the motherfuckers bus tickets during the daylight and goes, start making your way to Chicago, go to New York, go to DC, go to where these sanctuary cities are. They want you. That's racist, by the way. Governor of Texas, black woman, isn't she?
No.
No, who?
White dude.
Who is the black woman from Texas who's sending people out?
Perhaps a congresswoman or a mayor.
Hold on. Female black Texas representative. Is it Sheila Jackson? Sheila Jackson Lee?
I don't know. Hold on.
Representative Barbara Jordan.
I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. It too much time's gone by. I don't care anymore. So I don't know what I'm talking about. So we'll just skip that. But yeah, I do find it funny that this is a problem, and it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. And why are we finishing the wall? Why does the wall need to be finished? Well, and the excuse that I hear is, well, that's the way the Biden presidency is going. Well, that's what was left for us by Trump. Okay, well, if you didn't want the wall built, why are you finishing it? Why not just tear it down then? Wouldn't that be cheaper? Isn't it cheaper to tear shit down than it is to build it?
Allegedly.
So what's the fucking problem here? Why you got to finish the wall? It's more, and it's the same shit. It's the same shit. We always do this in American politics. I'm cleaning up the previous president's mess. No, the fuck you're not. You're doing what the fuck we were going to do anyways.
Right.
The fuck out of here. Once again, notice that none of these fucking politicians who call for these cities, these major American cities, and they're usually these cities that declare themselves to be sanctuary cities for migrant workers and immigrants and illegal immigrants, or people here illegal or legally, or whatever the fuck is the preferred nomenclature of the fucking moment. All right, notice that they never opened their house. They never opened their gated neighborhoods. They never opened none of that shit.
No, you know where these refugees go? They go to like small shit cities that take the funding from the government because the government sends them there. I used to go
cities have nothing else going for them.
I used to go to a city called Auburn, Maine, back in my previous life when I was a business consultant for a restaurant chain. And everybody in town bitched about the immigrants, the refugees from Sudan, because they were shipped there. Because the town government made a deal with the U.S. government, like, The U.S. government, hey, we'll give you a whole bunch of fucking money, and the town went, sure, we'll take it. Hey, but you got to take all these refugees, and they went, sure.
Yeah, the area of New York I lived upstate. I didn't live near the city. I didn't live near Albany or anything like that. I was near no major city, and where I was at. Right before I moved there, apparently there was a bunch of to do because it was a choice between they were going to put a prison in the area, or they were going to like allow migrant workers and immigrants in, and the prison won.
Strikes 1 and 2.
Well, the prison won, and people were like happy because they were building the prison while I was there, and people were happy because they're like, this is going to offer so many jobs and blah 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 blah.
Well, yeah, the prison comes with jobs, also keeps everybody fenced in.
Well, yeah, and honestly, if you escape jail, you're not hanging around the neighborhood that the fucking jail's in.
Nope,
you're getting the fuck out
far away.
Yes. So I guess they were like that. There you go.
Lesser two evils.
I guess. So I mean, I do know that does happen, and this was what, mid-90s when I witnessed it. So yeah, I'm sure it's still happening. I do know that.
Hey, you can have locked up brown people or free brown people. We'll take the locked up brown people.
when I first couple months I joined you guys, we were talking about there was something to do about. I can't remember what the story exactly was, but it was with all the vacant lots in the lots since we've tore down since the city of Detroit, and I guess the feds to a certain extent have come in and tore down all the abandoned buildings and half burned out buildings and shit. And I remember we were talking about it, and it was like, well, wait a minute, doesn't the city of Detroit always bitch they need more tax base? They're losing people. Why can't the city of Detroit become a sanctuary city? There's plenty of land to do urban farming. There's people can move in, buy land cheap. I mean, obviously not if you're not from Detroit, Detroit's like Detroit, even though, it went in the toilet there for, well, it's still really in the toilet except for certain parts.
What do you mean went?
Yeah. That's what I said. It's still there except for certain parts. But the certain parts that are nice, here's the thing. Anything that gets tore down, any building that gets tore down, a parking lot goes up. So that's you're not building houses there. I'm talking like outside of the trust fund baby areas of Detroit. And I just don't understand, and I'm not saying Detroit has to be the city to do it, but that type of thinking, why are we not doing that? Why are we fucking putting these people where they're not wanted, where they're going to fucking run into cultural issues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
It's more expensive to take kickbacks from the construction companies to leave everything you tear down as a fucking vacant lot. Hey, if you give us this contract to tear down all of your vacant houses, it's probably more on their bottom line than taking in all of these refugees. Refugees cost money. Yeah, they're here to spend money, but until they can spend money, you got to find a place to put them. Oh, also, by the way, food desert. Where are you shopping?
Well, that's what I said. They got plenty of land to do urban farming. They would just... For all the bullshit that Detroit does, and I don't know why, for all this, these urban art projects that they put up on these random fucking corners around the city that just look like something from the 1970s. They look like something from the fucking intro to Good Times. And I'm like, how much was spent on that? How many millions of dollars was spent on this urban art? You couldn't, by the way, there's fucking 50 acres of empty land right across the street from it. Could have spent that money on something with that.
I mean,
turn it to a neighborhood, you know what I'm saying?
I know you're new to the east side. Why does City Airport still exist?
I have no idea. I don't know anyone who ever comes in and out of city.
It's just for private.
I was going to say private, yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
And also the other thing for these people too, Detroit Public Schools. I'll coin the term education desert.
Well, yeah. But my point is that there's things there are other things to do besides going to some hick fucking town in the middle of fucking red country butt fuck Michigan and dropping a bunch of fucking people who don't speak the language, have nothing in common culturally with anybody in that area, and just go, oh, look, everybody's pissed off and they want to kill each other. Huh. Would you look at that? I mean...
Yeah, I would compare Auburn...
It's almost like it's being done on purpose, huh?
I would compare Auburn, Maine to Midland, Michigan. That's the type of city that, yeah, so I get what you're saying. Like, you didn't drop them in an urbanized area. You dropped them in the middle of fucking nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these aren't areas that are fucking open to public transportation to people who haven't had a couple generations entrenched in the American system of how we do shit. They have, I mean...
You dropped them into a city where the McDonald's is downtown.
And probably, honestly, they can't even get fucking help for the basic shit they're going to need to get by. If the initial government help that put them and relocated them doesn't fucking handhold them through the process and hand them all their paperwork and hand them all the IDs they need, how the fuck would you even... Imagine if I dropped you off in the middle of fucking Lebanon. I don't give a fuck if you got family over there. You don't speak the language. You don't know where you're going. You don't read the language. You're fucked, sir. That's what these people are.
You got a smartphone.
Well... Yeah, it'd be like, Google Translate?
Oh, yeah. My Translate would just be #1 used app for everything.
Like, words not to say in Lebanon. Bomb?
How do I not say whitey?
Jew, American. Yeah, I'm just not going to say any of these words. Okay, how about that? But yeah, I mean, if the politicians who claim, and I'm told that people do really believe that there are a very small sliver of politicians who actually do care about their constituents, and even people who didn't vote for them because they just care about people. I don't believe it, but I'm told that they are out there. So I'm going to go, okay, for sake of argument, I'll say they're out there. Why is no politician standing up and going, this isn't a fucking left or right issue. This is a common sense issue. And what is going to work best for them is going to work best for us and the city they're in the long run, because if they can get established and they can establish neighborhoods and start rebuilding in these neighborhoods that are just sitting vacant, and Detroit is a huge city. And once again, I'm not saying it has to be Detroit. I'm just saying a city like Detroit in Detroit's situation. Buffalo would work, except for if you're from warm weather, Buffalo's going to be a shock to the system. I'm going to tell you that right the fuck now. That is no bullshit.
From Africa and you get sent to Buffalo, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah, you might want to go back to Africa. and even the racist people in Buffalo be like, take my ass with you. It's too cold for this shit. But I mean, like, it just makes sense, and it's one of the things that I never hear brought up, and it is so it's like one of those things like, guys, we are a huge country. I mean, we're not like Canada's bigger, a bigger landmass than us with what, 33 million, 34 million people?
Yeah.
I mean, like, but it's
like
Canada.
Twice
Who
our
wants to live
size,
there?
landmass wise, twice our size, and only it's like 10% of our population.
That's because of all that population.
Well, yeah, well, because
15% of it's habitable.
Well, see, yeah, most of Canada is uninhabitable.
So it's like, yeah, we are nowhere near fucking on top of each other like other countries are. Nowhere near.
There is still so much of our country that is not developed. I got to travel it for a few years. Mm-hmm. There is still a lot of wide open space in this country.
So, to me, that just seems like I'm not saying it's an easy solution, because there's no easy solutions, because every layer of bureaucracy adds another layer of bullshit that you have to deal with, another bunch of assholes you have to placate and get on the same page just to fucking play ball. But the current solution doesn't seem to be working, because you're already putting these people at a disadvantage. And let's be honest, if they're coming here and they're risking death, I don't think we're getting people that are going to come here and be like, yeah, I'm not going to work at McDonald's. Like, it seems like these are people that are probably motivated to try to find a better life if they risk death to come here. That's what I'm saying.
We're talking about motherfuckers that'll jam 9 people in a studio apartment and not even care.
I lived in my first apartment that I had in Michigan. The neighbor across the hall, they had 2 bedrooms apartment, and there were 6 motherfuckers from Eastern Europe living in there.
Oh, I'm not even American people. I remember one time, what was it, Iowa? I went and I was working at a store with someone that somebody had just promoted, and they wanted me to come in to help train her and whatever. I was talking with her, whatever. She's like 18. Was talking about she had 6 roommates.
Damn.
That's, yeah. I mean,
like, so not much for privacy at your house, huh?
But yeah, that's just always been one of those issues when it comes to these sanctuary cities and what do we do with all these people? Like, even Even if they're here and they went through proper checks, the proper channels.
One word for you, Montana.
And they're approved and everything, and like they did everything the legal way and et cetera, people still act like, oh my God, we have no room for these people. And I'm like, motherfucker, have you been outside of a city?
Wyoming. It is the least populated state density-wise, I think, and number-wise.
What is it? Montana is known as Big Sky Country because it's just flat and it goes forever.
No, Montana's not flat. But
is it Montana's Big Sky Country or?
Well, no, Montana's Big Sky, but no, Montana's a lot of mountains. No, but I'm saying like where Earl lives, dude. Kansas is just flat and a lot of nothing.
The plain states.
Like Earl will even tell you, he knows. You get past Wichita, where he is, nothing. Just nothing until you get to Colorado. Just feedlots and cows.
That's why I said to me it seems like to not even bother to look into it, to not try it on a trial basis. For all the other shit we try when it comes to immigration and settling people in new areas that causes fucking agitation and causes fucking friction between groups of people. It seems like this is just like a common sense way to be like, well, maybe this will lessen the fucking friction. But of course, you know, the path of most resistance is the one we got to take because, hey, fuck it. Mom and apple pie and baseball, baby.
I bet you we could turn the Dakotas into refugia and nobody would notice.
Except for the 12 people that live there.
I just remember, I flew over the Dakotas dozens of times. I remember each time looking down like, man, there is fucking nothing down there.
Try driving through it. And you get to the radio station, and the only radio stations you can pick up at certain parts is like, and I'm dead fucking serious. I'm not exaggerating.
Got that reservation radio?
Absolutely. And I'm just like, wow, okay. Like that's a thing. I didn't, wow.
You're
okay.
like, hey, at this point, give me some Billy Ray Cyrus, please. I'll take a country station at this point.
Man, I listen to everything. So like I said, I had the Eastern European bunch, the tracksuit bunch. The 6 tracksuit mafia is what we called them. Tracksuit mafia right across the hall. And kitty corner down the hall.
It's funny because it's true.
Kitty corner down the hall was, they were from like northern, Middle Eastern, Northern Africa, somewhere. And they were always playing like heavy metal with Middle Eastern scales. And I was like, damn, that shit is awesome. I have no idea who that is, but that shit is awesome. Yeah. Oh, thank you. And like they said the name one time, and I looked it up, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. I'm probably on some list because I looked this shit up. It was post 9/11.
Oh yeah, right.
I probably looked up something that's like, death to the infidels is their name, and I didn't know it. I'm like,
oh yeah, your file probably got perused by somebody.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know.
What's this guy downloading?
But yeah. So, anyways, all right. Any more about?
I did find the explanation that the White House is giving as to why they're filling in the border wall.
Okay.
This is a quote from immigration attorney Salman Nazari. And he said, if you're asking me point blank, he's filling in an area of the wall that is well known for people to be crossing through and coming through the border regularly to get to that part of the Colorado River and then cross the river. And this is a kind of a landing ground from people all over the world, and they know this.
But whatever. Wasn't he saying, hey, everybody, come on in. So what?
Why are you finishing it? Tear it down.
Right.
Come on in. We'll find a place for you. And wasn't he saying that shit?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll find a place for you. As long as it's not in my or any of my fucking people who I value's backyard. You can go live with the fucking unwashed masses.
Even though everyone forgets about the soundbite of his vice president telling people coming from Central America to not come here.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Time to redo this basement?
Yeah. A home gym, movie theater, model train utopia.
Or yoga studio?
I'm flexible-ish.
Great. I'll just use the U.S. Bank mobile app so we can plan it out.
Which way are you leaning? Setting a savings goal or applying for a home improvement loan?
I say we look at both options, right here in the app.
Budget for a really good home gym. We deserve it.
Noted.
Help for today, planning for tomorrow. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
White Castle presents CEO Lisa Ingram.
My great-grandfather opened White Castle in 1921, which is why I'm excited to announce the new 1921 slider, inspired by how we made them 100 years ago, with 100% beef patty topped with cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, tomato, lettuce, and pickles. Come see why originality never goes out of style. I'm Lisa, but you can call me the Slider Queen.
White Castle. Long live sliders. Pasteurized processed cheese at participating castles.
Amazon's got everything you need for your dorm, from everyday essentials and school supplies to clothes and decor to bedding for
Power naps.
and regular naps too. Save on all things college at Amazon.
White Castle presents CEO Lisa Ingram.
My great-grandfather opened White Castle in 1921, which is why I'm excited to announce the new 1921 slider, inspired by how we made them 100 years ago, with 100% beef patty topped with cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, tomato, lettuce, and pickles. Come see why originality never goes out of style. I'm Lisa, but you can call me the Slider Queen.
White Castle. Long live sliders. Pasteurized processed cheese at participating castles.
Money is the #1 cause of stress and the #2 cause of divorce. Make your money go further and work harder with a certified financial planner from Facet Wealth. Financial planning used to focus on retirement, but Facet helps you with today. You get a dedicated financial planner that guides you through every financial decision. Inflation, interest rates, stock market changes, home prices. How do you figure it all out? Well, every advisor at Facet is a certified financial planner and fiduciary. That's just a fancy way to say they have the best training, and they're legally bound to do what's in your best interest. This isn't just about investments. It's about taking care of your money so you can start living a better life today. Facet has a simple flat fee, no hidden charges, and with nothing to sell, there are no commissions. Visit tryfacetwealth.com for 2 months free off your first year of financial planning. That's TRYFACET wealth.com. Facet Wealth is an SEC-registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice.
Is it acceptable to go to Mickey D's just for a drink? Of course it is. But good luck leaving with just a drink. It's more than a drink. It's a Mickey D's drink.
Sip a Minute Maid slushie at McDonald's. Enjoy deliciously refreshing flavors like strawberry watermelon or tropical mango. Or try $1 any size soft drink. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Everyone forgets that.
I don't know if I have the timeline right, but Crystal and Sagar were talking, and it was during one of the like post monologue back and forths they were having, and they were talking about how Harris had a speechwriter that got hired in, and there was like this in the behind the scenes political circles of K Street and all that shit, the DC insider, the Beltway bullshit. This was a big deal. Apparently, this person got hired, and this person quit before 6 months. It was like, I can't do this job. This will ruin my career. And it's like, you didn't last. Like, that was this person's job. Like, this wasn't a speechwriter, one among many. This was this person's job to be like, to wrangle her speechwriters, basically be a publicist.
What did they say why they quit?
Well, I mean, it's all, like I said, it's the rumors and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's just because she's known to be not very open to suggestions and puts her foot in her mouth and says dumb shit and like then tries to blame it on people and like takes it out on them behind the scenes. Now, this is all hearsay. I totally admit that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no fucking
what he's
source
saying
on
is
this shit.
Allegedly.
Yes. Oh, of course. Yeah. But I just am like, that's got to be pretty bad, because I imagine if you work in politics and you work in speechwriting in politics, you're used to taking a certain amount of abuse, because these are fucking narcissistic, sociopathic fucking psychopaths in a lot of cases. So, yeah. I mean, the abuse kind of goes hand in hand with that. So, for someone to quit, and that's got to be like that on your resume. I was the vice president. Like, I handled the vice president's media. Maybe that's the title. I forget the exact title, like media, whatever. But it just blew my mind because I'm like, wow. Because she is not well liked in her own party, it seems like.
No. When they're talking about people who are going to run in 2024, she is not one of the names that comes up.
I get the feeling if a plane crashed with Biden and her on it, there wouldn't be a whole lot of there'd be a lot of crocodile tears in the Democratic Party, but there wouldn't be a lot of real tears shed. Especially when they're like, who we putting in for 2024?
Right. Well, we'd have President Pelosi until then.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. Speaker's number 3.
Yeah, but
that just hurts.
Yeah, but then she can do what every other president's done. Get in there and go, president doesn't really have that much power. I really can't control things.
Yeah.
And then that's their mantra when shit goes bad. And when shit goes well, they're like, hey, you're paying 20 cents less at the fucking pump. That's because of me. And it's like, hey, yeah. And you know what else I paid? I started paying $2.50 more a gallon at the pump on your watch. And now I'm only paying $2.30 more?
Yeah.
That's mighty Caucasian of you.
Gee, thanks, mister. Yeah.
Thanks for doing the absolute bare fucking minimum. Thank you. Swear to God, if it was a fuck, it'd be the dude who just wants a blowjob and he bounces. That's just what the fucking government is.
Hey, thanks for raising the price of everything 100%, but then bringing it down 20. Gee, thanks.
And act like they did something. Like you didn't. First of all, you can't take credit for when shit goes good if you want to duck the fucking blame when shit goes bad. They're kind of attached. That's how shit goes. But whatever. Anyways.
See, Ralphie Wiggum saying I'm helping is a great metaphor for our government.
Pretty much. All right. So what else do we have?
Well, I can talk about my, what you called the fuck around in Fauci. Still just love that a lot. So, I want to preface this with two stories going into my main point, and that is over the last week there has been Alzheimer's research scandal where a paper that was published in 2006 and has been cited over 2,000 times in all of the Alzheimer's research, which is over $2 billion worth of research for Alzheimer's. It has been found or under investigation by the Department of Justice for being fraudulent. And it's this whole big thing. Like, apparently everything that we know about Alzheimer's is potentially wrong and inaccurate. So that came out this past week. There was also a study, they called it a meta study, that was done on the effects of SSRIs, antidepressants. And that, what those do is they increase selective serotonin pump. So it's basically to up your serotonin. And there's a whole technical term that's leaving me right now, but
selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors.
If you've done ecstasy, it does that on a much, much, much smaller scale. Much smaller.
So they that's what the whole premise behind SSRI antidepressants is, that you are depressed because your serotonin levels are low. And now we are finding that is not a fact. That is a theory. And apparently, per this meta study that was done and released, it is an inaccurate theory. That there is zero link to depression and a chemical imbalance. And the issue with that is whenever you are giving someone a pill, especially long term, that's going to increase their serotonin receptors, what are you doing to the chemical composition of their brain? And people, it's a huge industry, and I think 1 in 4 people in America, starting in 2020 or 2021, is on some variation of an antidepressant. So, again, all based theoretical, and it has been essentially disproven that there's any reason behind that. And I go into all of that to say now you have, in the same week that all this stuff that we've been believing about Alzheimer's and antidepressants, you have Fauci coming out and telling you that you're going to have a really hard time if you don't get your COVID shots and your COVID boosters. And while there's an article.
Well, what does that mean, Fauci?
There's going to be. What he said about it was that there are so many people that are not high risk that don't take this seriously, and that as the months get cooler, more people are going to be affected or infected with COVID, and they're going to overwhelm the hospitals again.
Haven't we heard this the last 3 fucking winters?
Yes.
Whatever. I'm done with you.
Right.
Because they haven't been... The only time the hospitals seem to be overwhelmed was the first few months of COVID. We keep hearing about how they're overwhelmed and how...
And by the way, I'd like to point out that for a fact, I know that one of the most centrally located hospitals on the west side of Metro Detroit, they shut down the week they shut down the rest of the fucking country due to COVID. Which it's like, in retrospect, why did you do that? You could have fucking housed so many fucking people there. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I just think that's funny. Hospital beds. Did you ever really look at that? It's their ICU units. Most hospitals, it's like what, 15, 20 beds? And that's a good sized hospital.
And that's a good point. That's the one thing that we've heard for the last 3 years that nobody ever clarifies. Yeah, it's when they say that the hospitals are full. No, they're talking about ICU beds. They're not saying every fucking room in every hospital is full with. No, they're talking about people in the ICU.
Yes, and trust me, I've been in ICU units from going into the emergency room with a condition that they immediately triaged me and put me in there. And the minute they were like, "Oh, you're stable," it wasn't what we thought.
Get out.
You got to get the fuck out. Yeah, and I mean, I was in one, and I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 beds, so 8 beds total. It was like for this area, so maybe a little bit smaller than average hospital. So I mean,
listen, an ICU generally is 12 to 24 beds.
That's what I'm saying. Like 15, 20 seems about right for an average size hospital. And I mean, but that's, once again, these are things that we aren't being told. We're just being told the shocking, hospitals are overflowed. We don't want this to happen. We don't want them to be overwhelmed like they have been in the past. But they're not telling you the context. They're not telling you the reality of the situation.
Well,
which creates what I believe, Jess, is what you're trying to get at is, what the fuck do you believe and who can you trust?
Exactly.
Well,
That's exactly it.
Wasn't it last summer there was a picture going around social media of a hospital in Oklahoma City where people were lined up around the block? But the problem was the picture came out in July and the people in the picture were fucking dressed up in their winter gear. And if you know anything about Oklahoma City, yeah, it's hot during the summer, but it also gets cold as fuck during the winter. So you're telling me people in July in Oklahoma City were lined up around the hospital in their winter coats?
Right.
Well, I mean, this is part of, it is part of psychological warfare, is to keep the masses fucking constantly fucking guessing reality, keep them questioning reality, keep them fighting amongst each other, keep them at each other's throats. Because if you never get it, think of it this way, okay? It's like playing a fighting video game, and you're playing a person who spams the leg sweep button. If you can never get your feet underneath you, you can never fucking even throw a good punch or kick in a fight. We're dealing with thousands and thousands of years. They've perfected how to keep people at each other's throats over this shit.
Right.
And this is a way that keeps people scared. I'm telling you, I just go back to it was 94 fucking degrees without the fucking humidity and the heat index. And motherfucker is wearing full-on long-sleeve zip-up hoodie pulled tight, face mask, clear fucking swing-down mask, long-sleeve pants, standing out in the middle of fucking Gratiot Avenue, no shade, sun beating down on him. And I'm like, that's mental illness. There's no reason there's no one around you. Who are you? You have a better chance of dying from car exhaust.
I see people all the time. I saw a dude today standing at the bus stop in long sleeves, long pants, face mask on, by himself. First of all, I thought, for starters, you have the wrong face mask on. If if you're the COVID warrior you're pretending to be, we were told last year anything but an N95 or a K95 is fucking useless.
Yep.
So there's that. And you're by yourself and you're outside.
Exactly. And
who are you I get it. You're a Democrat. Like,
it does kind of feel like that's the way. It's like a kind of like flying a political flag, but it's not political. It's more of an ideological flag.
Yeah.
It does feel like that. But I do think, Jess, you do have a good point. It's like, because ultimately, whether or not this is by design, whether or not this is social engineering, whether or not this is some fuckery behind the scenes going on, the bottom line is your average person in this country doesn't really, we've already had, in the last 10, 15 years, look at all the shit that's happened in this country that's shaken us to our fucking core. And now we've got people that even question reality to the point where it's like we all have to play along with other people's mental illness because it might offend them if we don't.
The LA Unified School District is requiring all students the upcoming school year, they cannot go to school unless they are wearing an N95 or a K95.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
California, baby. LA County.
What about the damn studies about what wearing that for long periods of time does to people?
What about the children, Jess? What about the fucking children who don't get COVID statistically? What about the children?
What about the fucking masks and how disgusting? Do you remember the studies that came out about them testing kids' masks and the disgusting bacteria that was coming off of these kids' masks? Because no one, first of all, can afford to change those things out every day.
You are talking to somebody who has been food safety certified for 25 years and ask me about gloves. I'll tell you, gloves give people an excuse to not wash their fucking hands, and I would rather have somebody with bare hands serve me food because I know they've been washed.
Yeah.
Well, I can't tell you all the times whenever everyone was wearing the gloves and the mask to the hospital, to the grocery stores, that I would be in there and see them literally like grab something, put it down, move their mask, scratch their nose, pull their mask back.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, the gloves saved you, though. Germs don't get on gloves.
Well, my friend Doc, he's like, these masks, once you start fucking with them, I'm paraphrasing quite a bit because I can't remember exactly what he said. So, but he's like, once you start messing with them and putting your hands on them, you pretty much defeated the purpose of wearing them at that point.
Yeah, exactly. If you know anything about, like I said, from what I knew from my food safety training, back when we had to go out all masked up and gloved up to the grocery store, I remember just thinking, like, if you touch above your neck, it's over.
Yeah. And I've been Safe Serve certified too. I know all that bullshit.
If you touch above your neck, it's over. You've contaminated everything. My favorite thing to do, by the way, I'm not a big fan of fucking giving people shit who work in food service, but this is one of those times that I'm fucking on your side. If you see someone in food service do this, when I worked in food service, a lot of times if we had to cover up front, we were in the back, you'd run up there and you get up there and there's 5-6 people waiting and they've been waiting. So you don't really, like, you immediately, your mind goes to get them the fuck out of here ASAP, because that's what the fuck you're supposed to do. Make them happy, let them, and send them out with a smile and get them moving. I've seen people who've left a prep table, came up, rang people up, handed them their food, you know what I'm saying? And it was a pizza place, so hand them their food, they're not handling their food without the gloves, but they still have their gloves on, go back and start handling food again. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just do? Yeah, you just negated the gloves.
The minute you touch a fucking dollar or a fucking coin in this,
people who handle money with gloves on and then go handle food, like, no, it's
been in a stripper's ass crack. It's been up. One end's been up somebody's nose, the other's been up somebody's butt, and cocaine's been through the whole thing.
I've always when I train people with using gloves, I've always tell them, like, you're just putting on a second layer of skin.
That's it.
That's all you're doing. You should still be washing it. You should still be cleansing it. You still shouldn't handle food and cash with it.
Yeah, but yeah, sorry. That's a real big pet peeve of mine. So, but I do feel what you're saying when it comes to what the fuck do we believe, and to me this is part of the issue that we've had really since Trump really threw his hat in the ring and went after the fucking press. I mean, I know it's kind of cliche and it's whatever. Someone could be like, oh, okay, low-hanging fruit. And I guess in a way it is. But, I mean, Trump really went after the press, and they got a mad on against him. And that's what started the fucking war. And we started seeing people that we thought, that at least I thought were journalists. I started seeing how petty and childlike they really were. And they weren't journalists at all. They're fucking petulant children who were used to what little sense of control they thought they had because they could say whatever they wanted. And people believed them, and when someone called them on their bullshit, they threw a shit fit.
Yeah, that's like the dirty little secret of Trump nobody wants to talk about. He exposed the media.
Yeah. And you know why?
He exposed them for being partisan.
Yes. And everyone knew it. Like, when I hear anyone talk about, oh, you mean there's a political leaning in the media? Motherfucker.
Dude, you remember Todd?
Are you awake?
Do you remember Todd? I don't know if it was when we first started or when he joined the sec. Do you remember him saying, like, we both worked at the same radio station. Nobody handed us an agenda of what to say. Well, they kind of did. They were called the ads we had to read. But at the same time, but yeah, like, nobody's handing you an agenda, but you damn sure know, like, there's a party, like the station him and I both worked at. Guess what? If you were on the left side of things, even though it was a rock station, yeah, the guy who owned the whole cluster was very right-leaning. And the stuff that you talked about in the hallways, yeah, they better have gotten the general idea for even if you were, like I said, you're working at the rock station, they better have gotten the idea that you were perhaps on their side. Otherwise, you'd get drummed out of the club.
Well, absolutely, and that goes back to
we can't have anybody being subversive.
It goes back to what we're talking about. Like, people are so afraid of stepping out of line and being singled out by going, hey, wait a minute, I'm sorry, before I just go along with this, can I get some clarification on a few things? Shut up! Shut him up! That's what we do in this country anymore. And it's a societal problem, and it's bullshit. And I'm with Jess on this one. I even feel this way about the shit with the vaccine and this and that. I don't know what the fuck is real, what is bullshit. I don't know I'm being told because I'm listening to one news agency who I don't know who they're beholden to behind the scenes monetarily, so I don't know what side they're fucking pushing the narrative for.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to know all that bullshit just to get informed about something?
Piggybacking on what you just say, it used to be like if anybody asked any questions, it would shut them up, right? Now it's like if somebody's asking the wrong questions,
well, absolutely,
shut them up.
Yes, and it's don't question anything. The official party line, the official state line, whatever the fuck.
Because before it just used to be like, oh, somebody is subversive. Get that out of here. Now it's like, okay, if you're on our side, we'll let you talk. If you're not, get them out of here.
Well, that's kind of my whole point with talking about all of this. There was one other point to it that was announced today. An FDA commissioner announced that the agency was considering allowing the only vaccine licensed in the United States to prevent monkeypox to be given in smaller doses. So the current monkeypox vaccine that we have is it's administered like a normal vaccine, and it's entered into your muscle. They're saying now that they can take the current supply of monkeypox vaccines that we have and cut the regular dose down to a 1/5 size dose, and instead of entering it into your muscle, they just put it right underneath the skin, which triggers a much higher immune response. And we're just supposed to say, like, oh, okay, well, they say it's safe. Like, if they're saying it's safe, then we have to do it. And if we speak out against it, obviously, like, we're the problem. It's hate speech. It's dangerous. Yeah. All of that.
You know what? I'm not gay. I'll take my chances.
Well, here's which seriously, put a pin in that because we got to come back to that. Because there's a few very interesting stories about that aspect of this.
95% of the cases are in gay men.
Bingo. But we will get back to that. Here's my thing: the fact that they're going, okay, we're going to basically cut the fucking. I'm gonna use drug terminology because that's what I know. We're gonna cut this vaccine, right? And you're gonna skin pop it instead of fucking actually hitting the vein, and by skin popping it, it's gonna fucking have a different effect, and it's gonna be just as effective. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. So line up and get your shot. Okay, great. What proof do you have that any of this works? Because I didn't even know what the fuck monkeypox was, let alone that we had a vaccine until 10 days ago.
Well, the smallpox vaccine works on monkeypox.
Is it okay? So it's one of those, like, it can go either way.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. See,
I think this is actually a different vaccine. I don't think it's the smallpox vaccine.
Well, there is a monkeypox vaccine, but the smallpox vaccine also will work on it.
Okay, real quick, just to that point. What do you remember about the smallpox vaccine?
I know I had to get it to go to kindergarten.
You had to get a smallpox vaccine?
Oh, yeah, we're old. We're 10 years older than you.
Are you sure? You have the scar from it?
No, I think that was the old polio, like the ones that looked like someone took a cigar and put it out on your arm.
No, that's a smallpox vaccine. I think so.
Really? Because my dad had the scar. My mom had the scar.
Yeah, because that was for smallpox.
I don't have that scar.
I know. I don't have it, but I know, like, we had to get measles, mumps, rubella, smallpox. We had to get all that shit.
Yeah, I thought they just fucking had streamlined it by the time we started.
Yeah.
The routine vaccination of the American
polio
against smallpox stopped in 1972.
Oh, well. All right.
Maybe I didn't. Yeah.
I was about to say, damn. Like,
because you know why? Because it was gone. That's probably why.
Right.
Yeah, what is it that I always hear people from Norway say? You know, for 2,000 plus years, they've been saying Jesus is coming back. He still ain't back. Odin said he'd get rid of ice giants. I've never seen one. What God should you believe in?
Right?
No, so my whole point about smallpox, though, just real quick, because I remember my mom talking about smallpox. I know smallpox is eradicated. I know all of that. The smallpox vaccine, I thought when you were, I remember it as a truth that you got that vaccine and that was it. For life, you were protected against smallpox. That's how it was eradicated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go look that shit up now. Go look it up now because it says it's only effective for 3 years. And then if you haven't been vaccinated for smallpox, you can still catch smallpox. So the whole fucking narrative's changing, like, in real time in front of us.
Well,
and see,
because they want it. Let's see, New York, California, Illinois have all. It's the new boogeyman. It's the new public health emergency. They want to scare us all into getting another fucking shot we don't need.
Right, but it's that whole thing of lying to us or muddying the waters or however the hell you want to put it, so where we don't know what to believe. That if you were inoculated against smallpox, it was an intrinsic truth that, like, that was it. You were not getting smallpox, no matter how long ago you were inoculated.
If you went to a doctor, a general practitioner, family doctor, and he treated you like the government treats us about getting all these shots and shit since 2020 fucking raised its ugly head, you'd fucking find another doctor and you'd probably want to try to get that motherfucker, like, on some sort of watch list. Because this is just shut up and take it. It's for the best. No. You got to explain this a little bit more before you start demanding and making laws and threatening me with incarceration and taking my freedom from me. Or else you're going to put this in your body, or else that's the consequence. And don't bullshit yourself. I'm not saying that most people feel that that's where we should be at, but there are a lot of people, more than most people would probably be comfortable actually knowing, that feel like, yeah, if you're not going to take it, fuck you. Lock them up.
Right.
How many people? We did a show with someone who wanted to. You want that government check? You got to take that government check.
No, but trust me, I remember actually saying, like, hey man, whatever, public health emergency worldwide, shut the fuck up, get it. But that was when we were being told, if you get this shot, you won't get it.
But do you see my point? Which is, it's constant goalpost moving.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you're being bullshitted, because no doctor, no businessman or no business you're giving your business to would you put up with this bullshit from. If they kept moving the goalpost on you like this, you would go, fuck you. What are you trying to hide from me? Like, first of all, you would just walk away. You go, we're done here. We aren't doing business.
Yeah.
You don't have that option here. Here, if the government says you have to take this for your job or whatever, you have to fucking do it. Okay, well then, quid pro quo. You need to fucking disclose everything about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't got to fucking run it 24/7 on some fucking, website somewhere. But put it on you know what I'm saying? You don't have to run like PSAs 24/7 on a website, but put the information where it's easily findable. I don't understand. What is the issue here? You know that people are paranoid about their health more than anything. And let's be honest, who's worried about their health more than anybody? Old people, because they're close to death.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're terrified of their health. How many old people, if you're so worried about this is the right thing to do, wouldn't calming their fears and showing them this is the most likely path to where you survive anything that you might catch? You can do something different, but you're going to drastically reduce your odds of coming through unscathed.
I never understood.
Like, just explain it that way.
Why we were beating the drum so hard for people under 50 to get the shot. If you just looked at the numbers, who this thing was putting in the hospital and who this thing was killing, why were we beating the drum for people under 50? You have to get the shot. Like, I get it. Trust me. I got my shot for my mom. She's in her mid-70s. She's got diabetes. She's got a heart thing. She's got a kidney thing. I get it. But, trust me, I get it for other people. But just like, why is it... Why does LA Unified, why do all of their kids have to wear masks this fall? Why does an age group who is not statistically being constantly hospitalized or dying from this have to adhere to this shit?
Because they could make someone else sick. That's the whole thing. They could make someone else sick. If you get COVID, you could go take it back to grandma. But now they're still pushing that same thing while still saying, but if you get this vaccine, you can still get COVID.
But we're 2 years in. We're like how many subvariants in? We've gone over this, like basic science.
I think 3.
Virus don't want to kill the host because if host dies, virus dies. It's getting weaker. Each subvariant it gets weaker. All right, I bet you when the common cold first came out, the first 2 iterations were probably killing people.
I think every season when the rotation of the common cold is in effect, some old people or people with really weakened immune systems kind of get, we take the trash out. That's nature's way of doing this.
The
shit.
Flu still kills octogenarians.
That's what I'm saying. That's nature's way of handling shit. Like, what is the line from Jurassic Park? Nature finds a way.
Nature always finds a way.
So far, at least in our observable history, it has.
In the pool industry, we say water always finds a way, but same general principle.
Yeah, because drop one drop of water on a rock for 1,000 years and watch that rock fucking whittle away over thousands of years, or hundreds of years. Anyway, well, okay, we're all 3 various levels of hesitancy towards the government and, CDC and official fucking press releases about this shit. So I guess let me ask this question and see what you guys' take on this is. Is there anything at this point that any government official, any pharmaceutical company or person representing or talking on their behalf could say or do? And I'm talking in the realm of whatever you can think of, no matter how far-fetched you think it is. Is there anything they can do to make you go, all right, yeah, okay, I'm on board. Pump me full, whatever you got to pump me full of. If that's what's needed,
give me numbers.
Like raw data.
Give me data.
You want data. I want facts. I want figures.
Like if you tell me to get a monkeypox vaccine right now, I'll tell you to fuck off. I'm a heterosexual male.
Anything? Could they? Do you think there's anything that you could hear that would change your mind, Jess?
God, no.
I don't really think, like, to be fully on board where I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, just stick it in me. No, I'm good. But
I bought your bill of goods with the first COVID vaccine. I still got it. All right. 2 of the most vaccinated people, Anthony Fauci and Joe Biden, have gotten it within the last 3 months.
There you go.
Fuck off with your safety dance. You obviously didn't do your research enough, and you rush your shit out. Who the fuck? We could have all been getting a placebo at this point, for all the fuck we know. Could have been a deal between Pfizer and the federal government to be. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Now you need 4 shots. It's nuts.
I will say this. I have heard from people who do work in these fields that they're like, if any conspiracy that they believe personally, if any conspiracy is likely, and they don't believe any conspiracy is likely, but if anyone is likely, it's more likely we're getting a placebo than anything.
It's like, you played on my fear of the unknown.
Exactly.
It worked. I got my first shot. But no, especially since Biden's got his quote-unquote rebound infection. He's got like twice in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Jess, I said this off the air, and I'll say it now on the air. Totally think that lends credence to your theory that his first infection was bullshit. And after he, had some mouth diarrhea, talking about which he had cancer, but he no longer has it, apparently. And they just kind of went, it's crazy, he has COVID. And it was a way to shut him up for 5 days and make people forget about the gaffe. And now he's actually got it. Now they're spinning it to, it's a rebound infection. It's crazy.
No, they're making shit up as they go.
Yeah.
The rebound effect? Are you kidding me?
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
White Castle presents CEO Lisa Ingram.
My great-grandfather opened White Castle in 1921, which is why I'm excited to announce the new 1921 slider, inspired by how we made them 100 years ago, with 100% beef patty topped with cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, tomato, lettuce, and pickles. Come see why originality never goes out of style. I'm Lisa, but you can call me the Slider Queen.
White Castle. Long live sliders. Pasteurized processed cheese at participating castles.
Money is the number 1 cause of stress and the number 2 cause of divorce. Make your money go further and work harder with a certified financial planner from Facet Wealth. Financial planning used to focus on retirement, but Facet helps you with today. You get a dedicated financial planner that guides you through every financial decision. Inflation, interest rates, stock market changes, home prices. How do you figure it all out? Well, every advisor at Facet is a certified financial planner and fiduciary. That's just a fancy way to say they have the best training, and they're legally bound to do what's in your best interest. This isn't just about investments. It's about taking care of your money so you can start living a better life today. Facet has a simple flat fee, no hidden charges, and with nothing to sell, there are no commissions. Visit tryfacetwealth.com for 2 months free off your first year of financial planning. That's TRYFACET wealth.com. Facet Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice.
Oh, we could fly.
This is your summer. That means Six Flags and the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola. We're talking thrilling coasters, delicious burgers, real moments together, and this. Coke is summer refreshment when you need it most, so you can hop on another ride. This is your summer. Six Flags and Coca-Cola. Come make it yours. Visit sixflags.com/Coke to save up to $20 off passes, plus daily tickets starting at $44.99.
White Castle presents CEO Lisa Ingram.
My great-grandfather opened White Castle in 1921, which is why I'm excited to announce the new 1921 slider, inspired by how we made them 100 years ago, with 100% beef patty topped with cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, tomato, lettuce, and pickles. Come see why originality never goes out of style. I'm Lisa, but you can call me the Slider Queen.
White Castle. Long live sliders. Pasteurized processed cheese at participating castles.
Money is the number 1 cause of stress and the number 2 cause of divorce. Make your money go further and work harder with a certified financial planner from Facet Wealth. Financial planning used to focus on retirement, but Facet helps you with today. You get a dedicated financial planner that guides you through every financial decision. Inflation, interest rates, stock market changes, home prices. How do you figure it all out? Well, every advisor at Facet is a certified financial planner and fiduciary. That's just a fancy way to say they have the best training, and they're legally bound to do what's in your best interest. This isn't just about investments. It's about taking care of your money so you can start living a better life today. Facet has a simple flat fee, no hidden charges, and with nothing to sell, there are no commissions. Visit tryfacetwealth.com for 2 months free off your first year of financial planning. That's TRYFACET wealth.com. Facet Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Well, because you've mentioned it a few times, and I did say stick a pin in it, and Jess and I have talked about this off the air, the whole monkeypox and who is getting it thing. Now, you seem to have heard the same number I heard, that like 95% of the cases are sexually transmitted or transmitted in some form of intimate contact amongst a certain group of people.
Homosexual males.
Because
if you want to bring up females, I think the number is like single digits of females who have gotten this.
Now, yeah, and that's
at least in the United States.
I've that news story is being buried, suppressed, changed. It's being called, depending on who's reporting it. Like if you are a hate listener of this show, and we're talking about this, you're going to be like, they're homophobic. They hate gay men. They think gay men carry diseases.
We're just telling you the numbers.
It's like, no, here's the thing. You can go to the Young Turks. You can go to fucking Crystal and Sagar Breaking Points. You can go to Compound Media. Now, they all have different ways of putting this information out there, but the information pretty much is all the same across the board. So you can take this is hateful bullshit and a hammer and pound it up your fucking ass, because I don't want to hear it right now. What does interest me is it is like single digits, skin on skin, or like someone brushes up against something with an open sore and you brush up against it with an open sore.
Yeah.
Get monkeypox, like in a non-sex in a non-sex act. And there's
take sexual orientation out of it. You got to be all up on somebody to get monkeypox.
And what I find interesting is there's cases of like 2-year-olds and younger getting monkeypox, and they were like, like someone in the family was handling them, and they were like, well, so-and-so's gay, but we don't think, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. If you're telling me that there's only a 9% chance that 2-year-old or younger person got it from skin-on-skin contact, shouldn't we at least look into the possibility that child had something done to him?
We can't stigmatize Rich.
Well, I know the argument's going to be, you're conflating gay with child molester. No.
I'm conflating numbers with numbers.
I don't care. You can be straight. You can be gay. If you're going to molest children, you're going to molest children. That's something that I think if you're on this fucking ball long enough, you pretty much learn that fact. Child molesters are going to child molest. That's just what they're going to fucking do.
Chomo's going to chomo.
Chomo's going to chomo. It don't matter. Gay, straight, asexual, doesn't matter. There's child molesters who don't even touch children, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's fucked up. So yeah, whatever. That doesn't matter. It is, you're like, when we are denying reality because we might offend somebody, this is a fucking 2-year-old child. If a 2-year-old child come down with a raging or scorching case of herpes, you don't think CPS would look into it?
Of course they would.
I mean, it's the same reason now that the whole panic and epidemic is over. It's the same reason you're not allowed to ask for the huge heterosexual non-intravenous drug user body count from AIDS. Where's that at?
Well, yeah, because it's what is? Well, I mean, once we got done with the sex will kill you, and this is gay cancer in the 80s, we moved into the 90s. I
didn't have sex without the rubber till like 2010. Thank you.
They
no, never mind. I had girlfriends before then, but you know what I mean.
I mean, as the 90s went on, more and more it came out that it is real hard for a man to catch HIV from a woman.
Yeah. But you weren't allowed to say that.
But pretty much the only way a woman could catch HIV from a man who's infected is if he's really rough, or he turns you around, he's playing the back nine, and there was a tearing issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's okay, so you just told me using straight sex that it's almost I'm not going to say impossible, but it's very difficult to transmit HIV via straight
any
sex.
doctor who said that was fucking shouted down, labeled a homophobe, branded as crazy.
Have you ever had a doctor ask you if you're sexually active?
Oh, yeah.
And when you answer yes.
Oh, dude, here's how I knew. All that shit. I will tell you exactly.
I got a feeling that you're about to say what I was about to say, but go ahead.
When I had to give plasma, the questions I was asked, I was like, okay, I know what the deal is now. It was, have you had unprotected sex with a male before 1980? No. Done. That's it.
See, it is a little bit. Have you had... Have you had unprotected sex?
It was like, are you?
Was it vaginal, anal, or oral, or all three?
Oh no, yeah, I think anal sex was in there. I think it was are you homosexual?
If you answered yes to anal,
yeah,
usually the next question, do you are you sexual orientation, preference, whatever, however they fucking phrased it.
I just know all the questions I was asked. I remember sitting there thinking, after the nurse left the room, none of that points to any type of sex I'm having or am going to have.
And once again, I don't understand, this is a sexually transmitted disease.
So now I was rubber's a bullshit. that was me after that conversation.
It saved you a lot of money. A lot of money and a lot of court dates. I'm just going to say that right now. And you got something to lose, brother. I never had anything to lose.
Right.
So I didn't blood from a stone type shit. I completely lost where I was going with that. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, nowhere did I say in that sentence birth control is bullshit.
Yeah, no, I you said rubbers. Well, just because they're look, if there was a rash of syphilis going around in the straight swinger community in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, or some place wherever the fuck, right? No one would blink an eye if precautions and people were talking to people who were at high risk. In other words, AKA people in the swinger community. Hey, you might want to lay off because people are getting syphilis, and that shit's like luggage. It's for life. Okay. It ain't going anywhere, motherfucker. You don't want it, all right? But because it's the homosexual, the alphabet people, we can't tell the truth. Then you know what? I hate to be this way, but if you are so fucking scared of a complete stranger thinking something about you that you can't control, that you don't like, that you are willing to risk death instead of have an honest and open conversation about shit you do and what might happen because of the sexual choices you make, then fucking die.
Or don't do it.
No, die. I don't care. I don't care. If you are too stupid to preserve your own fucking life because you're that insecure about your sexuality, first of all, why are you fucking?
Right.
Go to therapy. You got some issues. Second of all, that's not my fucking problem. I don't care. So stop making it about me. That's a you problem. I mean, wouldn't that be?
I was in a situation one time. It's in my 20s. Young lady. Perhaps we had just met. I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh, is this one of those, you go to the doctor and he whips out that long Q-tip and you go, what's that for?
No. This was me avoiding getting in that situation.
Gotcha. Okay.
The protection had broke, and she was like, well, we have a couple options. we can not have sex, or you can put it in my ass. I'm thinking, like, we have just met. I took the we are done here option. I will go home and beat off. I'm not getting anything. I'm not taking any souvenirs home from this encounter, I guess is what I was thinking.
Here's the thing, ladies. It's not that she offered. It's just, I ain't really known you long enough for you to be offering that up.
Yeah, it was how quickly it was on the table.
I bet you she's a lapsed Catholic. You should know. You went to Catholic school. The mental gymnastics them people do. Sorry if you're Catholic. I mean, well, actually, I'm not sorry. You chose the fucking religion, not me.
When I was
on you.
When I was in my 20s, I'm more interested in this type of person. Now at 40, no thank you. But if you are Catholic and you don't have a good relationship with Dad, I'm just going to bypass getting herpes.
Oh God, and it's well, I couldn't have vaginal sex, but I'll let you fuck me in the ass because that's.
Hey, the poop hole is the loophole. Okay.
No, I mean I'm not. Look, whatever. I'm a fan, but I mean I'm just saying, like, you can't have this, but here you can have the dumpster over on the corner.
I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying? It's like
religious combined with I hate daddy is a recipe for a slut. I'm just saying.
I just don't understand why vaginal intercourse is filthy from a religious point of view in these people's minds. But having some dude stuff himself up your ass is like I'm only going to have to do like 1,000 years in purgatory for this, so it's not that bad. It's like, what the fuck? And it's
at least have him fucking the one that makes you come. I mean, Jesus.
Well, you know what? That I guess I feel like I need to.
Depends on the lady.
I was about to say I don't know. I just whatever. No, it depends on the person because I've had gay friends tell me that like the male G spot's up your ass, and I'm like. Then I'll never know about my male G-spot.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. Unless a prostate exam goes really wrong or
really well.
Really right.
Yeah,
now that I think about it. Once again, completely lost my train of thought. Oh, no. I don't I just like it's always it's such a Catholic thing. Like, oh, you can't have the pussy and I can't blow you. But you fucked me up the ass.
My experience with Catholic girls is like, no, here you go. Here's the vagina. You can.
Oh, you got
the Catholic girls. The Catholic school girls I experienced. It's everything but the ass was open for business.
I have no Catholic schoolgirl experience. I'm like Banky Edwards, and Chase Namey. I have no stories that start with and then she undid her Catholic schoolgirl's zipper or jumper.
Okay. Just think, you are told your whole life something is bad, and then you hit puberty. Draw your own conclusions from there.
I don't have to. I lived it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker Southern Baptist.
No, then you know that just...
but at least
it's like a video game, a different skin.
At least Catholics can go in and talk to a priest and walk out and feel a little bit absolved.
The first
Baptist, we just go to hell.
You are told the first decade and a half, every sex is bad and all the urges you are having are bad, and then you turn 15 and then whammo. At least for females.
Catholic school. Something I missed out on, I'm okay with it. Ultimately, it doesn't sound like my scene. It just really does.
And then they make you dress like you're in the fucking Britney Spears video. And trust me, just because there was a uniform doesn't mean the ladies all had their loopholes. They'd roll the skirt up so it was higher. Yeah, Jess is giggling because she knows.
Yeah, well, of course, yes. Fucking Jesus Christ, yeah. When I lived in Detroit, watching the kids leave for school and come back from school, I was like, did y'all change clothes? I swear you had to wear uniforms. But y'all look like you're coming home in different clothes because I damn sure one dude used to walk home with his shirt open. Like he's in a Michael Jackson video waiting for the wind machine to blow and shit.
Yeah,
He'd be like, oh, and all that bullshit. And I'm just like, bro, it's Detroit. First of all, that bird chest, cover that up, man. Like you might have one fly away. Second of all, you cottage cheese chest having motherfucker, you ain't tough like that. You just look gay. It ain't the neighborhood to be gay in. I'm just saying. Detroit ain't known for its fucking tolerance of the alphabet people, all right? But All right. Shit, I completely forgot. Oh, the monkeypox thing. So
yeah.
Okay, so
how you're not allowed to bring up how in the United States it's mostly gay dudes getting it.
Is it really? But I mean, is it like one of those things that the media was like, oh, this is taboo, you can't say it, and then people were just like, we're not going along with that.
Hey, by the way, a month ago, weren't we getting a new name for monkeypox because it was racist, and we've just abandoned that apparently?
We got too busy getting monkeypox.
Well, who's we, straight woman?
The collective whole of the
the royal we. Yeah.
Yeah, again, like, I'd like to point out, I think there are single-digit cases of women in the United States who have this. Like, I'm talking like 6.
Well, this goes back, this is also, it folds back in and it doubles back into what Jess was talking about with how the fuck can we trust anybody who's a medical professional who is not, we're not paying and going to his office. And even then, man, like, if I go to the doctor, I don't want to have to be like, I wonder what his political leanings are.
Well, look, because at this point, too,
if he's going to treat me or not based on them.
But I think we learned this during COVID, which is funny, is I've noticed a lot of us talk about, like, it's past tense. You go on the coasts, it's still happening, right? Like, you know, we talk about like it's something that's we're already the middle of the country. We're done, right? We've all gone on with our lives. There are still parts of the country where this is still happening.
Is it still happening, or do they really wish it was happening so they act like it is?
Yes,
okay.
That
because there's fake it till you make it. That seems like what Callie's doing. I have heard like to be fair, I have heard that certain areas where the population is a little bit more elderly and is a little bit more densely populated, it's hitting them hard. But isn't that to be expected, guys? Didn't we know this the minute they told us when they were still calling it the Wuhan shit? We knew that we were going to lose a lot of old people, right? I mean,
Wuhan flu ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, but I mean, like, didn't we have this conversation as a nation in like March of 2020? Like, we knew it was going to happen.
Hasn't it weakened now to where it's not affecting even the elderly that badly anymore?
I don't know, because I don't know anyone who's elderly who's had it. I don't know. Nobody in the last 2 years in my social media circle and my friends circle that I have heard of has a family member who's elderly who got COVID, who it put them on their ass. No, I take that back. There was one. It might have been about a year and a half ago.
Well, I guess what I was getting at with all this was, didn't we learn during COVID is any news source will find a doctor to agree with what they want to say?
But when
like you had Fox News finding their doctors to say all their crazy shit worked. You had MSNBC finding all the. It just.
The problem isn't that that's their playbook. The problem is that when they no longer hide their playbook, we're going to notice, and this is what sows the. Well, who told you that? Well, I heard it on Fox News. Well, I watched CNN. So what the fuck is the truth? I don't give a fuck who your favorite fucking flavor of Kool-Aid is. I want to know the truth. I don't want. Well, Fox puts the spin I like. Well, CNN puts the spin I like. So that's what. To me, that's the bigger issue. And the news media, let's be honest, we've talked about this before. The minute Trump lost that fucking election, or whatever the fuck because, you know.
It's Russian interference, Rich.
Has it been certified yet? I don't know. That's another story for another podcast. Truly, we'll get to it eventually. I don't think that story is going anywhere anytime soon. But ever since Trump basically fucking has been out of the White House, it's been, what can we do to stir up nonsense and keep shit going? And that was fucking perfect. It was perfect. And it just because like people who have pre-existing conditions, people who are more likely to get fucked up by this, like, they're not going anywhere just because maybe they haven't gotten it so far. Didn't Fauci himself in the last year say at one point, here's in the next couple of years, everybody on this planet will have had some form of COVID at some point? I mean, like, when you're making statements like that, what are we flipping out about? So, I mean, that's the thing. Like, what are we supposed to do? I keep hearing, we're not over COVID. COVID's not gone. COVID's here to stay. Okay, well, fine. We're living with COVID. Just like we've lived with cancer and AIDS and HIV and diabetes and fucking every other bunch of fucking
influenza
shit.
for 100+ years.
Yes, just like we've all fucking lived with that shit. And guess what? In a couple 100 years, it'll fucking die off or mutate and become something different. I mean, that's one of the things they always talk about. Like, the reality of time travel is if you took someone from right now and dropped them 500 years ago, they'd probably be dead within a week or two because their body doesn't have the antibodies to survive everything going around 500 years ago. So think about that. Don't worry, COVID will fucking change or just not be here in a couple 100 years.
I changed my life for like 3 months in 2020, and that was it. Like I pretty much the summer after we all got locked down, I just went back to live my life like regular. And I guess the only compromises I made was as long as the mask mandates were just to be in public and not be hassled. I wore the stupid fucking piece of paper. But I've generally been, like, I will tell you maybe that the first maybe 6 months after we got locked down, I wasn't too keen on big get-togethers. Like if someone, hey, we're all going to a bar for so-and-so's birthday. Like, yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm still kind of cool on that. But.
See, like, no, I just today, I was at a bar, like, before I came here. I was around, like, the same 4 people the whole time because it wasn't exactly a busy bar. But, but it's... Like that's gone for me now. Like it's maybe just because I got it. It was just whatever. I had it. I know I'm not going to die. Fucking whatever.
I think the only thing that's really changed for me that I've stuck with is I'm pretty much good smoking after anybody.
Oh, I can tell you that's one that has just started making a comeback with my friends is we're just now starting to like pass around joints again. It's for a couple of years it's been like just bring your own, man, or I'll just hit my own device or whatever.
I've always been the bad luck person. If I got one friend, if there's 5 of us sitting around, the one friend who's got something that I've not had is going to lick and blow the fucking joint as he's fucking rolling it, and then hand it to me, and I'm gonna inhale it and be dead. So I
always made that joke even before COVID. Like, we'd be on the golf course or something, passing around a joint, someone would have the sniffles and be like, well, whatever, we're all open mouth kissing anyways. Like, passing around a joint. Like,
I'm just saying, I got sick of getting sick. So I was just like, fuck it. This is before COVID. This was the last time I got sick at a party from passing around a fucking party joint was the Christmas party that I went to right in 2019, right before COVID really took off. And everybody within like a week, almost everyone at that party was down on their ass for like a week to a week and a half. So I'm looking back going, was that COVID? I mean, I clearly remember listening to NPR in October of 2019 and them mentioning some sort of fucking medical emergency.
No, that was the vape panic.
No, that was different. This was one of the reporters was over there covering a story about how China had disappeared a journalist. And he was near Wuhan, and he said, I went to go in to cover this story, but there's something going on, and the government has, cordoned off areas and blah, 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 some sort of health issue. And then like 2 days later, next thing I know, I'm seeing on the news they're talking about COVID. And I'm like, what the fuck is COVID?
Did you see, and my guess is for both of you probably not, because this was such a blip on the news radar. I think we all collectively went, get this shit the fuck out of here. Is they tried to put out another news story saying, oh yeah, they tried to do the wet market thing again. Like it was like, oh, they did figure out it did come from this neighborhood in Wuhan where there's known to be markets that sell. And then I just read it and I was like, dude, we told you to fuck off with this like a year and a half ago. Like nobody's buying this shit anymore. All right.
See, this is what I'm saying. When the ship popped off, everybody and their mother was saying it came from a wet market in fucking China. No one was saying that was racist to say. Within a week, it was racist to say that. Within a few more days, maybe from 7 to 10 days, it became racist to say the Wuhan flu. And then you could literally be deplatformed from multiple social media platforms if one of them bans you for passing misinformation or false information regarding COVID. When it comes to this shit, now they're going to turn around and reverse themselves again. And after fucking literally deplatforming people and removing them, go, oh yeah, by the way, it was in Wuhan. It was a wet market. It's exactly what we fucking told you you're racist for saying. And by the way, we told you to say it in the first place.
Remember this?
There are reports of dozens.
This is one of the times I liked his style.
Bias against Chinese Americans in this country. Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China. That's why. It comes from China. I want to be accurate.
China.
Yeah, please, John. Please.
No, but that's one of the few. Trust me, I was never a booster for the man, but I always felt like I defended him on Run Regiment because I felt a lot of the shit that he was saying was like being taken out of context and like being made like, bigger than it was. But this is one of the times I like the guy's style. He's like, it comes from China. What's
even Aaron fucking, because Aaron, I remember talking about it. It was one of the last shows we did, and Aaron was talking about the wet market thing, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. You, of all people, are saying that you think it comes from a wet market in China? And he was like, yeah, that's where all the facts point as of right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, because that was declared racist by the fucking by the party. So I just assumed that we go along with what Big Brother says.
Right. But, I mean, that's one thing I guess that's never been in dispute, right? It comes from China. It just, at this point, now that did it come from a lab? Did someone fuck a bat? Like, who the fuck knows? Like,
I'd really like to talk to my buddy, Doc, and see if he's changed his mind or if he has any new information on the lab situation. Because he was like, I have seen nothing that convinces me it was a purposeful leak. He's like, there's nothing in anything I've seen of the makeup of it.
Well, even when
the way the DNA is structured, he goes, it evolved that way because, and I've explained this before, and this very much layman terms. If I'm getting it wrong, it's on me. But basically, imagine a red brick wall, and you take one brick out, and you put a white brick in. If we fuck with DNA, like I said, it's very layman's way of explaining it. It leaves behind markers that if you're trained in this, you can supposedly see and be like, okay, that's altered by man. That's not a natural mutation. Mm-hmm. And he said as far as he had seen, now remember, this is almost going on a year and a half ago now. He's like, as far as he'd seen at that point, he had seen nothing that said it was like released on purpose or genetic or engineered to do what it did. He goes, but very well could have been they were fucking around with some shit in a sealed lab and somebody was just asleep at the switch.
Well, no, that's the thing is I don't, and I've never heard this. I've never heard it said that it was purposely done. I'm totally down that it was like
just fuckery.
No, yeah, like some shit out of a movie where like
the Stand,
yeah,
like the movie or book.
Some dude broke a test tube or something, or took something home with him that wasn't he was supposed to take home,
and one guard got out before they could lock down the facility and spread it. Yeah, some shit like that.
I don't think they did it on purpose. I think it was like oh fuck.
Well, see, that's the point. My whole point of bringing this up is that like we sat and talked about that. And I don't think race, I don't think culture, I don't think national origin was ever a factor in what we were talking about. We were just trying to figure out, like, where did this originate?
And who is the arbiter? Who is the asshole that decided saying where something is from makes it racist? So is Mexican food? Is calling it Mexican food racist?
It's the same people that think if you criticize Islam, you're racist.
Is calling it Chinese food racist?
Islam isn't a religion. It's a religion. It's not a race.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not being racist against Islam because Islam isn't a fucking race, but it's the same type person. So you're dealing with.
It's a virus. It came from China. Why is calling it the China virus bad?
But see, this goes back into something that I've thought of and I brought up before. Like this is that. Okay, we have the government. We have the First Amendment. The government can't restrict speech, but boy, it's like Ice-T in that album he made called Freedom of Speech. Just watch what you say. Like we have some very strong suggestions on what you say and what you don't say, and it changes with the wind anymore, and it's absolute bullshit. Because how do we even fucking place our feet down and get to objective reality?
Well, I think all three of us kind of agree in this respect. It's freedom of speech unless you fuck with people's money.
Well, I mean, ultimately, everything comes down to money. If you're talking about the people who are pulling the strings, right? They're either doing it for some sort of egotistical power trip or money, right?
Like definitely no. Rich can definitely attest to this. Earl's not here. Definitely not a fan of Jamel Hill, but she found out what happened when you fuck with people's money. Mm-hmm. ESPN went, "Oh, we're gonna take you from anchoring our fucking." What's the term?
Flagship.
From anchoring our flagship show to you're going to write on a fucking website people don't even know that we own.
I don't even think she works for ESPN anymore. I think she's completely separated from them. Like
she talks shit about the NFL who pumps mad amounts of money into ESPN every year, and they went, "Yeah, that's great. You can go write for she writes. I still think does she still write for the Undefeated? That ESPN owns the Undefeated.
I don't think she's with them anymore. I think she's with the Roots. The Root.
I think that's an ESPN site
Is
too.
it? Okay.
But it's again, it's like a fringe site that they don't pump any money into. It's like working for the network affiliate and getting sent to like North Dakota. Essentially, is what they did there.
Well, I mean, real quick, last subject before we fucking wrap this up. You kind of brought up ESPN. Here we have an issue. Brittany Griner, WNBA player, took a fucking weed cart, couple weed carts in her carry-on luggage. Well, no, we got that. We already covered this. We got the low-hanging fruit taken care of. We already picked that. Here's the thing. She got 9 years today. 9.5 was the maximum. I swear to God, that is a fucking political ploy. That is, well, if you want to trade for her, she owes us 9 years.
They offered a trade last week. Well, the thing is the whole time our political advisors or whatever have been telling her people, shut the fuck up. If they think they have political cash with her, it's going to be a lot fucking harder to get her here.
Exactly.
Well, her wife's been popping off, calling out Biden, doing this and that. Going on Good Morning America and all this and that, and all of a sudden Russia's like, oh, this chick's valuable. Yeah.
Well, according to Breaking Points, the story out of the story out of Russia is that her lawyers, her state, country, whatever the fuck, appointed lawyers over there, they're not even bothering to translate what they're fucking saying half the time. And apparently when she was arrested, she just kept repeating the same phrase in Russian that she knew. So they took that as an admission of guilt and entered it on behalf of her or something like that. And it's like, long story short is, it's like from the get-go, this seems like, why the fuck didn't the State Department, why wasn't the proper channels alerted and the State Department moved into action? Because that is as far as I know, that's SOP for these type of things. When you have an international prisoner like that in this type of situation, like remember the homeboy in the 90s who went over and spray painted something in, I think it was Taiwan or Thailand, it might have been, but he got caned.
Michael something.
You remember who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember this, Jess?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. Like that was a political fiasco with a country that we have no beef with.
Mm-hmm.
That was a clusterfuck. Motherfuckers were talking about sending in the fucking Marines to go get him.
He still got caned.
And he took like what, 5-10 lashes, whatever. They were like, well, there was some welts and a little bit of blood. And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, I've had a razor strap put across my back. I'm pretty sure that drew more blood than that fucking caning did, but whatever.
It's better than jail.
I mean, ultimately, you went over there and like I said, same thing with Brittany Griner. You went over there, you broke their fucking laws. Mm-hmm. What did you expect to happen? Now, that doesn't mean that I have to agree and think that their law and their fucking way of dealing with this fucking shit is even remotely logical or reasonable. But then again, how the fuck are we as a country going to demand that they release her when we have what? 400,000 people sitting in fucking jail across this country due to marijuana offenses?
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to cause an international incident over her? Shouldn't we let our own political prisoners out? Because isn't that what they are?
Yeah.
Political prisoners of a drug war. A drug war that's not illegal in all states anymore. In fact, I think we've went past a tipping point where marijuana, through medical or recreational or both is legal in more states than it's not.
Oh yeah.
So,
and it's straight up. 20% of the country, it's just straight up legal.
There you go.
1 out of every 5 states.
But ultimately, I think this is political fucking.
No, 2 out of every 5 states. Pardon me.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think this is political posturing, maneuvering. I think they gave her the 9 years because if they gave her 9.5, they gave her the maximum. They can be accused of like, okay, that's overkill. But with 9 years, her value as a bargaining chip gets raised because now they can demand, if we're holding someone of theirs who we've sentenced to like,
oh, they're trying to get the Lord of War back. That's what they want. They want the Lord of War.
Whatever his name was that they did the movie about.
Mm-hmm. That's who they want.
The real life motherfucker.
Yep.
What? Well, he's an American citizen.
That's who they want.
He's not even Russian. He's from Ukraine.
That's who they want. I'm just telling you what they want.
Okay. I mean, Brittany Griner don't mean shit to me, but I'm just like,
and I think that's.
I don't think that's a fair trade.
No,
but
I mean,
why the fuck?
No,
do they
I think
want
that's
to kill him.
I think that's the offer we made. Is we'll give them him, and we get her and Paul Whelan back.
Are you sure they're not wanting him because they don't want to put him in their justice system? Because I mean, he was selling to everybody and made a lot of enemies at one point. I can't remember his real name
in front of me that could tell me the answer.
Yeah, I know, right? Hi, this is the internet. Yeah. But no, once again, like it seems to be this attitude of, okay, well, fuck her. She hates America, so let her rot. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. Well, hold up, time out. That ain't. Are you that petty? Like, because she was. I don't want to stand for the national anthem, so let her rot. But I mean, at the same time,
well, I mean, this country sucks. Yeah, why do you want her help?
To me, it doesn't matter. This is just you can't fucking.
It kind of does. You've drawn your line in the sand, haven't you?
Russia isn't doing this because they really want to punish her for bringing weed into their country. They're doing this to flex nuts, and we already look weak as fuck with Sleepy Joe in office. Sleepy Jesus can't even ride a bike for fuck's sake. Who the fuck is scared of that cocksucker? Yeah, the Lord of War guy. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. I think
Victor Bout.
Now was his character in the movie, or was the warlord character supposed to be like a amalgamation of a bunch of different people? I can't remember. One point I knew all that bullshit. I really liked that movie. That movie was way underrated, in my opinion.
He's got close ties to Russian intelligence. That's why they want him.
Yeah, he had family that worked for Russian military, as far as I remember. That's how he got, after the fall of the Soviet Union, it's how he got access, because they literally did what America does. Like, when the military's done with something, they just leave everything and go home. And there was plenty of fucking shit being left around the USSR.
That says, reports suggest that Bout could have close ties to Igor Sechin, S-C-C-H-I-N, a former deputy prime minister of Russia and an ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Both Sechin and Bout served with the Soviet military in Africa during the 1980s.
Okay. Now, here's my point of bringing up, like, Brittany Griner. She's an American citizen. We know Russia's doing this to flex nuts. I'm sorry, from a strategic standpoint, why do we have him? There has to be some value if we're holding him in the justice system to us on some level. More value than she brings to Russia. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's like me going, hey, I want the best baseball player in the world right now, and I'm going to give you a guy who's got like 3 more months and he's going to retire. No, I'm not making that trade.
Here's another Harvard University's Belfer Center for Science and International Affairs said that Bout could never have operated such a large smuggling business without government protection, but that he never spoke about it. The Russian government is eager to retrieve him so that it stays that way.
Well, then he's a fucking company man. He kept his mouth shut in the face of fucking...
Well, no, that's what they said. He before this, they're saying about how he kept his mouth shut to the Americans the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because he knew Russia was his fucking, that's where his bread was buttered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he might do time in America, but ultimately, it's better than doing time and having Russia wanting your dead. So that's, there. I ain't afraid of Biden. Uncle Vladdy, where's that Richard fat fuck on that fucking podcast?
Exactly.
Be like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, now we got to go. All right. Yeah, guys, I'll be leaving the podcast for an indefinite amount of time. I'll see y'all later. Actually, should I be like, what, you going to kill me? All right, well, save me the hassle. Come on, motherfucker. You ain't got the balls. Do it.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, this guy, no, this, yeah, he ain't scared of us. He's scared of Putin. Like, I ain't saying shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
This guy will pull off my nutsack and put it in my mouth.
Bro, think about that. That's like back in the day before they started cutting deals and putting people in witness protection and invented witness protection. Motherfuckers in the mafia were like, I'll do 20 years because it's better than what'll happen if I fucking give you one name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only am I dead the minute I sing, I'm dead in the most painful way they can fucking keep me alive through.
Yeah, I'll do 20 years because I'll be in jail and alive those 20 years.
In America.
Yeah.
Versus some fucking Russian fucking, Siberian fucking prison camp out somewhere. Yeah, fuck all that noise. I'm good on that. So, but to me, that's an unfair trade. I'm sorry, you got to sweeten that deal somehow. You need to. You got some blueprints? Can you say bag of balls?
Right.
You got any prospects? Player to be named later? Something? Like, I'm just thinking of it like, that is ridiculous. Because what the fuck? I'm sorry, what the fuck does she bring to the table? She's an athlete.
Not even a popular athlete.
Man, look, I love...
Sorry, Jess. I know you're on that team. But, I mean...
Wait.
The female, the vagina team.
I was going to say, like...
That doesn't mean I watch it.
Exactly. And that's the problem. And that is the problem.
Yes,
where you at, ladies?
Online, I read a comment that, on ESPN, they posted, she got 9 years, and this guy goes, "Oh, man, I hope we really negotiate to get her out, because, man, the WNBA misses Brittany Griner." And I just commented, yeah, but nobody misses the WNBA.
See, WNBA's been over for like 2 months.
Like, bro, they can't put 200 asses in the seats during a championship game, and they give the tickets away. Like, that is an issue that your sport shouldn't exist on the level it should.
Detroit had a team that won like 3 championships
in a row and then folded the fourth year.
And then moved. Yeah.
Folded, left the city. 3 after winning championships 3 years in a row.
All these WNBA
shit.
athletes bitch that they should make the same amount of money as the NBA athletes, and what everybody conveniently always leaves out of those news stories is the NBA has been subsidizing that league for the last 20 years.
All right, look, I mean, here's the deal. Here's the bottom line. When it comes to Brittany Griner and this, and especially trading him for the whatever the fucking the dude's name is, the Lord Award dude. Okay, here's the deal. I love Bob Probert. Bob Probert's dead. Okay, been dead 10 years. Bob Probert's my favorite fucking hockey player, athlete ever. If Bob Probert got caught sneaking 14 grams of coke into fucking Russia, like he got caught trying to sneak 14 grams of coke.
Enjoy Siberia?
At the fuck, yep. Yeah. Sorry, bro. Hope the Russian hockey team or the Russian prison hockey team needs an enforcer, because you ain't coming back, dude. It ain't happening, dude.
At least the cock is warm when it'll be in your ass when you're in Siberia.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, you are, no.
I'm a car carrier stoner. I host a weed podcast. I'm like, dude, you took weed to Russia. Like, what did you expect to happen?
You know what I'm saying? The only thing dumber than that is taking sand to the beach. Like, seriously, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? Did you not think that? First of all, you are a 7-foot tall black woman in Russia.
Yeah.
Going through customs. The fuck did you think was going to happen?
With a friend of mine earlier today, it was like, anybody who does drugs and travels, no, you score the drugs when you get there.
Yes. I've seen Get Him to the Greek. Have you seen my friend? Well, I don't know. Where's your friend? He might be staying in a hotel. What's his name?
Heroin, yeah.
H-E-R. Are you trying to buy fucking heroin? Yes. Well, Jesus fucking Christ. Meet me around back and wait like a normal human being. I'll be out in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. But yeah, that's ultimately like even my favorite athlete of all time. Even a beloved athlete, even here in Detroit, even Steve Yzerman. Yzerman, you're gonna learn 5 new Russian names to play with. That's what you're going to do. Sorry.
I took weed. I took a cartridge from Detroit to Atlanta, and I was shitting I knew what the outcome would be. In the United States, It's all about the local cops at the airport.
Yep.
I knew they would have called the Wayne County Sheriff, and the Wayne County Sheriff would have been like, "Get the fuck out of here. We got shit to do." Like, and I was still shitting my pants, knowing
because it's a hassle you don't need.
Yes.
And
you went to Russia?
And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
And even now that, well, she has a prescription for it in the United States. Well, she's in fucking Russia. You're not in the United States.
I don't buy the I didn't think about it, didn't realize it was there, because this is my thing. I've driven all over this country with various illegal substances on me. I've never not been aware that they were on me.
Right.
I've never forgot they were on me. Okay, so you can kiss my ample ass on that one. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, Brittany. Sorry. Save that for the tourist. Bitch, I live here all year round.
Now, I went through airport security with a half a joint in my pocket that I forgot I had in it. And it wasn't like I didn't know. I knew I put the joint in my pocket. I forgot I put it in the pocket of that jacket. Now, I didn't get caught, but I remember I was waiting for my plane going, man, it smells like weed.
Is it true? Because you've flown and I haven't. And Jess, I don't think you've flown anytime recently, have you?
Not recently, no.
Do they have like a drug amnesty box when you're leaving a state where they have legal marijuana? Like if you like...
Some do. Like there was one at the Portland airport. I know there was definitely one at the Denver airport.
That makes sense.
Not sure if they have them at Metro yet. They should.
I mean, at Metro, you're technically, because I've dropped 4 or 5 people off in the last 5-6 years at the airport. They don't even want you coming in to the very front of the airport unless you have to come in. So, I mean, like you better give it to somebody outside because you ain't coming back out once you go in.
And I mean, too, everyone always makes it, you could argue every airport's federal land and you shouldn't bring it on there. But it's, no, but I want the job cleaning out the amnesty box.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm sure there's some stoners at the Denver airport every day. All right, you take this and I'm taking this. And
shit, that's...
Guys like, I haven't bought weed in 10 years. It's great.
What kind of benefits you get? Free weed.
What kind of benefits you get? I get to empty the amnesty box.
Yeah.
Someone's got to empty that shit.
So, yeah, I know. It's like, turn in your weapons to the local police station. We'll destroy them. Have you seen some of the fucking museum quality pieces that get turned in? They ain't destroying those fucking things.
Right.
That's sitting in somebody's house, and that's going to pay for somebody's retirement, probably. But, all right. Well, anyways, do we have anything else?
Sending someone's kid to college.
Yeah. We have anything else, or are we pretty much at the end of our itinerary there?
The only thing we had that we didn't touch on was the New York Times economist who talked about anyone who believed that we were in a recession was being duped by the media.
Which, by the way, there was a segment on Joe Rogan. He had a guest on, I'm not sure the guest's name, but basically they talked about this and how... And they went a little bit deeper than just the initial definition of what a recession is. They went a little deeper, but it is amazing. Like, wow. So the White House goes, no. The definition we've all known for fucking all our lives.
Biden's gaslighting us?
No. Yeah, Joe Rogan used the term gaslighting, talking about this with this guest, and I was like, okay, all right, yeah. This is...
Yeah, Biden's out there. No, it's not a recession. And he was like pointing to all these... You know, it's funny, though. The jobs report's about to come out tomorrow, and motherfuckers are sweating it because Biden was just up there a week ago. No, we have historically low unemployment. We can't have a recession. And a bunch of people are on his side and on his team are all pointing to the same things. Oh, these certain parts of the economy are stronger. Meanwhile, the definition we've all been told the entire time... Oh, no, that's wrong. Oh, and yeah, Wikipedia, by the way, I don't know if it's still effective now, but I know for a minute, shut off the page for recession. Like you couldn't edit it.
Oh, that happens a lot more frequently than you like that they lock a page for a day or two.
Yeah.
They remove the ability to do anything to it until the initial like troll urge to go in and change shit to crazy shit. Mm-hmm. But
it's just funny all of a sudden. Oh no, it's crazy. We're not in a recession. I mean, all right. I mean,
well,
Didn't DJT even admit he was in a recession for a second during COVID?
The party true believers, they're going to go with whatever the fuck the party line is. So, like, you can write them off. But then you have people who really aren't feeling the recession. I mean, like we talked, like we talked about, like you're like, you know, for what I pay, if I like order a meal and have it delivered, even with delivery and tip, it's still cheaper than if I'm trying to cook the same thing, and I won't have to throw half of what I cook away because I won't get to it before it spoils. So you don't grocery shop for a family of like 4 or 5. You're not feeling the pinch at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? If you have a company car and you don't pay for gas, or if you have, you know what I'm saying, something like that, you don't feel the pinch at the gas. So those people are like, oh, well, yeah, of course. Biden supporters who aren't feeling the pinch are going, of course there's no recession. I don't feel it, so it doesn't exist. And it's like, those are the people that this is for. That rewrite and gaslighting.
I mean, I don't pay for my I have the company car where I don't pay for gas, but at the same time,
I'm the only motherfucker that pays for gas on this podcast, and I drive for a living. I'm pissed off about it.
No, but I'm saying I'm part owner of that company. You're damn right. That's my money. You don't think I see that shit go over 3 digits? I'm like, God damn. Like, no, our gas budget's like 4 times what we thought it was going to be.
Like, oh no, I'm with you.
Trust me. Like,
but do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and think about it. Like, outside of the party loyalists who are just going to always vote straight Democrat no matter what, outside of those people, these are people who are like younger, single, probably, like I said, like, or living in a situation where, you know, they have roommates, or they're splitting a house, or they're splitting, you know, whatever.
You work in the tech industry, make 6 digits. What recession?
Well, there's that. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about more like, this is just people who just, their lives, they've built their lives, and you can do this. You can. I mean, when we talked about it, you laid out the plan for it, the step by step. You're like, I don't need to go grocery shopping every week and drop $200 on groceries and let half of them fucking go bad. You know, blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. It's more cost efficient, and this is how I do it, and blah 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 blah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the type of people I think that he's trying to appeal to. I just don't think ultimately that's going to make that big of a difference. I don't think that him pulling them redefining the term recession and trying to paint it as like, you know, well, it's not that bad because everybody isn't affected. That's a pretty fucking shitty way for the party of compassion who wants to include and let people be seen.
Right.
Like, well, if it's not affecting you, then it's not happening. Really? Okay, well, you feel that way about rape? I kind of doubt it.
Hey, just remember they both do it, but I like to think the right in the last 10 years has taken a lot of notes from the left. They're the party that they change the narrative. They make it fit what they want.
No, absolutely. And I mean, this redefining shit, that's nothing. That's an old political, even before the Republicans and Democrats, that's an old political trick. That's nothing new under the sun. So I mean, like, this type of shit is just it's an old play dressed up with a new playbook cover, I guess, essentially. We're really, you can tell football's getting ready to be here because we're really talking about fucking. I mean, I was using the sports analogies and shit.
I was late tonight because I was watching football with my friends.
Well, no, you know, I just realized that on this podcast we now have 4 people who play on our fantasy football league. That we do we have any open spots? Do you know yet? By the way, this is what we do.
I just renewed the lead today. So
this is what we do during the season, Jess. We wait till the end of the show talk fantasy football shit.
Sweet.
So this is pre-draft shit talking kind of here. We're trying. Well, I want to figure out if we can have any listeners, new listeners, if we have any spots for them. But yeah, the last 3 champions of our league are on the podcast. And
I've never won this league,
and neither of them are named Chris or Earl. So, hey, I wanted to retire. Y'all made me fucking come back. I wanted to go out on top. I was trying to do the right thing, but no.
Nah, not an option. I gotta beat you again.
Well, it's funny because didn't we meet in the championship game the season before, and I lost, because I was a dumbass and oh, I'm going to set my fucking lineup on my phone. No. Fat fingered the phone. I remember I lost because I started the wrong running back, and I thought I had switched him at the last minute before the deadline, and I didn't.
Is that what we're going with?
Well, it's not. It's just what happened. No. Hold on a second.
Talking shit before she can even talk shit.
Flopping. It is a weak ass fucking shit talk. That's what happened. It's not what I'm going with. It's what happened. I fucked up. I lost. Yeah. There's no almost in fucking football. It's not hand grenades and horseshoes, okay? You know, like, I totally admit that. I fucked up. Hey, by the way, you're talking to a motherfucker who, when I play Madden, video game Madden against a human, and the game cheats, and I get an interception, like, it magically teleports one of my guys halfway across the field, and I get an interception, I go, you know what? Fuck it. I quit. And they're like, dude, you just won. Why are you quitting? I'm like, because that's bullshit. You just got fucked out of a win. That's horse shit. The game's cheating.
Rich has left the match.
Well, I mean, if it's if it's online, fuck you. No, shit. I had to sit through all that.
Oh, dude, I'm getting frothy for football. Like, especially since the Hall of Fame game was on tonight.
Yeah,
although
I know,
we were watching. How many of these motherfuckers do you think will actually be playing football a month from today?
Well, the other thing I was going to ask is, it's the first fucking preseason game. One series for the starters, if that.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure some of the starters didn't even fucking see action, especially the high price ones.
Doesn't matter. It was NFL football.
I know, but this is the saddest thing, and I think we should wrap it up because it is getting kind of late for us. This is the saddest thing I heard today. Some guy called into the local sports talk station and said that he had bet on the Hall of Fame game tonight. And they ripped into him. They're like, how the fuck do you even bet a Hall of Fame? What are you betting?
Like, I can see, like, prop bets.
They're like, that's like drafting and playing preseason fantasy football. You don't even know who the fuck is going to be on the goddamn team or on the field that game.
I could see doing a prop bet for, like, how many series will the starters play? Like, shit like that.
Oh yeah, like you do like do during the Super Bowl and shit. Who's going to win the coin toss?
Yeah, I could see doing that.
But
yeah,
this guy called in and he bet the over.
I'm betting on the Jaguars. You're an idiot.
I think he took the spread, and I'm like, there's a spread. There's a spread for the Hall of Fame. Who wasted their time at what sports book in Vegas for this shit? Because it had to be one guy, and everyone was just like, fuck it. Yeah,
but you know what though? Enough. If this guy did it, that means thousands of other motherfuckers did too.
Always degenerate gamblers, bro. Dude,
right?
Dude, I wasn't a degenerate gambler. I was a degenerate drinker. Believe me, I've been sitting at a liquor store 6:59 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Open. So,
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I haven't been in a dispensary at like 9:01. I mean, like,
only on 420, and I did it 1 year because it was ridiculous. I walked out with 3 single gram carts for the price of one.
Oh,
and it was Stizzy carts, and the Stizzy cart was discounted to it was discounted from $50 to $30. So I got 3 single gram carts for $30.
I caught a flash sale like that one time where
nice.
I went to buy a cart, and they were like, "Well, these are all $10 right now." I was like, well, I'm still going to spend $30. Give me 3 of them. Like,
yeah. Exactly. All right. So let's wrap this up.
All right. Thank you everybody for listening. We're on the social media at Gen Exhausted Pod. So it's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and, wherever. What? Oh.
I'm sorry. One more thing. We should have done this at the front. I'm sorry. If you've listened this far, you're a fan. And really, I'm apologizing to the fans. Last week, we had technical difficulties, and for the first half of the show, we weren't hearing Jess. I have no idea how that show sounds because I haven't listened to it yet. But if you listen to it and it sounds like we're being assholes, like, yeah, fuck that bitch. We don't want it. Bitch, go make a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? That is not what is happening. I mean, if you want to fucking like couch it that way and be a cunt, then yeah, I mean, you know, you can be an asshole, but that's not what we were doing. So yeah. I just wanted to say that.
We were not silencing the female voice.
No, believe me. Like, seriously, if we were going to shut anyone up on this podcast, it would most likely be me or Earl. So yeah.
But we're go to ChristopherMedia.net, hit the PayPal button or the Amazon banner if you would like to help us out, and wherever you listen to us. If you have the ability to rate us and review us, we would appreciate it because it helps people find the show. Thank you, everybody, for listening. New listeners, old listeners. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you next week.
All right. Later, guys.
See ya.
White Castle presents CEO Lisa Ingram.
My great-grandfather opened White Castle in 1921, which is why I'm excited to announce the new 1921 slider, inspired by how we made them 100 years ago, with 100% beef patty topped with cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, tomato, lettuce, and pickles. Come see why originality never goes out of style. I'm Lisa, but you can call me the Slider Queen.
White Castle. Long live sliders. Pasteurized processed cheese at participating castles.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Hurry in for great deals during the Ram Make This the Summer event. Ram, built to serve. And now, well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4 for $339 a month for 36 months with $5,169 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra, no security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution at least through Chrysler Capital. Excludes all other FCA vehicles. Extra charge for miles over 30,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 8/1/22.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.